Deepwoken just got the worst update ever. I wish I was exaggerating. The game's Discord server is in flames, and for a very good reason. Because the update completely killed build diversity and made progressing way harder for no reason. First, let's get into how build diversity was just straight up murdered. Basically, almost every talent was gutted if you used Shrine of Order on it. If you don't want to read this long list of nerfs, you don't need to. Your build is most likely gutted and needs to be wiped anyway after these nerfs. This severely harms build diversity. What people don't realize is that Shrine of Order is what allows you to make a unique build without missing mandatory talents. The best example of this is builds with multiple attunements. Without Shrine of Order, they only have enough stat points for their attunements and not the important talents that make builds viable. People were even making cool avatar builds, and they were still usable at the time. But not anymore after these nerfs. A huge misconception is that just because Chime Dwellers play the same Clone Trooper builds, it means Shrine of Order is the problem. Shrine or no shrine, Chime Dwellers were always going to do that because they have nothing better to do with their life. If you think about it, Shrine of Order is basically just access to more stats and more talents. In what world does more stats mean less build options? The logic doesn't even add up. You know what? Don't take my word for it. Just look at history. Back in verse 1, before Shrine of Order was a thing, everyone was just attunementless medium, with maybe an occasional Hero Blade build. The game without Shrine of Order has already been solved long ago, and it's only 2 builds that are viable. But Firranos, what about the new players? I think that's a valid concern, but it ends up being a non-issue if you think about it. You don't actually need to learn how to use Shrine of Order to beat the majority of content in the game. When Layer 2 first came out, I beat Chaser and Firranos with a very old build without Shrine of Order. This was back when no guides existed, so a new player can easily beat Layer 2 with enough practice, especially with guides and friends. Don't forget that the shit show is only half of why the update is so bad. Progressing was made way harder too for no reason. Jobs got reworked and you now have to go to a location instead of mobs spawning randomly near you. This seemingly innocent change couldn't have been implemented worse. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. You have to climb Mount Everest just to get to a single thresher. And guess what? Now you need to walk all the way back. You're genuinely better off not doing jobs at all now. Or even better, just leave the game. As a cherry on top of the turd, they also removed job stacking for some reason. Things are so bad that we would have been better off if they didn't update the game at all. The worst part is, I genuinely can't tell if this was caused by a lack of testing, or if it's because the devs are so out of touch they don't realize how bad this is. The reason players did jobs was not because it was fun walking around the map. It's because the game is dog water and doing jobs is the best way to get mobs to actually spawn, instead of walking around like a headless chicken and praying that a mob spawns in 10 minutes. To give credit where credit is due, they nerfed Bloodfowler and the other balance changes were mostly decent. They even did a nice Q&A section that told us important info about the game's future. It's just a shame that it could have been a decent update if they just didn't touch Shrine of Order and jobs.